life is really just a bunch of small decisions that you're making these decisions and you don't know where they're going to lead you, but you're kind of hoping that you're making the right decision to get you where you want to go. So don't sweat the small things to the extent that it, takes you off your fucking path because you're worried about the past and worried about all these little things and, so worried that you can't make a decision. But worry about them because you do need to think about the decisions you're making because, small wrong decisions can like very easily alter your life. Like with my brother, being young and doing stupid stuff or, going out with certain friends. I'm like, one little decision you don't even know. Oh, I want to go hang out. That decision can change your life and you don't. It's done it to many people. It's like shit goes wrong and you never even thought about it. And all it took was for you to sit back for a second to go, you know what? I don't really need to do that. Doing that's not going to get me where I need to go in life.
Welcome to Guys That Listen. I'm Peter, and we got special guest Austin on the pod today.
Yeah, how's it going? I didn't expect the applause.
Yeah, we always give one applause.
I'm Austin. I'm a lawyer here in LA currently. I'm from like a super small town outside of San Diego. I shouldn't even say I'm from San Diego, but I'm basically from there. I went away for college in Arizona, came back for law school, and then kind of got transplanted to LA, and here's where I stay now.
You said you moved here right before the pandemic, or LA?
Yeah, so, I moved to the glitz and glamour of LA, and I'm like, oh, this shit's bomb. And I was like, it's great. I was kind of enjoying, I was young at the time, and I was kind of enjoying all of the everything that LA has, that scene and crazy good food, all that stuff. And then bam, pandemic hit and people were like fighting for toilet paper.
Yeah. Jeez. And you went out there for a job offer, you said?
Yeah. So I was living in San Diego and as soon as I graduated, I just started applying to like hella jobs. I was like 100 jobs and I was kind of like, whatever offers me a job, like I'm going to take it. So I got an interview literally the day after graduation. So I graduated the next day, drove to LA and went to the interview, ended up playing ping pong at it. You never think at a law firm, but I was playing ping pong and then they were like, we're going to hire you. Would you move to LA? And I was like, hell yeah. Oh. Yeah. So then I literally packed up, like I think a few months later, moved to LA and then it's history.
Wow. Are you still with the same law firm?
No, actually, I'm not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I'm not. It was a different type of law I didn't want to do for a long time. And it's kind of an area that it's work comp. And it's a great area. But if you do it for a really long time, as like with anything in law, you kind of become niche. And then it's hard to move around. And I knew I wanted to do more business, employment stuff, which is what I do now. I do employment law. But if I stay there too long, that transition's really hard to make.
I see. And then did you move to OC for a job too?
Nah, I moved here for a girl.
You moved here for a girl, okay.
Yeah, I did.
For any of you guys who have watched Lori's episode, Lori's best friend is now engaged to Austin.
Yeah.
And I know we said this off the pod, but you said you only met Lori for 5 months?
Well, I guess longer now. I've only lived in OC for 5 months, but I've known Lori maybe for almost a year now, I guess. Now that I think about it, time's kind of flying.
Yeah.
But probably about a year because our anniversary is coming up, and I think I met Lori pretty quickly after we started dating.
How long have you guys been dating?
Yeah, so
that look.
Pop quiz.
Okay.
No, if you're watching this, no. We met on February 25th, 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, 2023. So that's the day we met. Technically not our anniversary, but upcoming will be our first actual year together. So yeah, it was a really, really quick.
Whoa, you guys are not a year together yet?
We're not.
You're one of those love stories, huh?
Yeah, I really didn't believe in it. I'll be fucking honest. I didn't really believe in that whole like, you meet someone and And it's kind of a weird story because both of us, we actually met on a dating app. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's kind of funny because I kind of didn't really want to go on the date. Like, she's gorgeous. And first of all, I was like, she's probably fake. There's no way. I was like, there's no way. And I was like, and then I kind of just wasn't really feeling it. I'm not one of those guys that goes out dating all the time. I'm like more in work and trying to just like progress in life. And although relationships are like a huge part of life, for some reason, for the longest time, I didn't have that like at a high level for me. So I was like, I was like busy. It was midweek. And then I was kind of like, I'm not going to go. I'm going to cancel on her. And then crazy. Last minute though, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go. And then we met. She walked in. I was like, damn, she's real. That was the first thing. I was like, damn, she's real. And then we kind of just started talking. It was like crazy because, afterwards I was like, it felt like I knew her for like years. It was like it's hard to explain, but like we talked and I was like, I fucking feel like I know this girl. This is crazy. And in that date, we kind of started talking about, we both like Universal Studios, so we plan to go to Universal Studios like that next weekend. And it's so then later on, kind of hindsight. Later on, I find out we were talking about it, and she was like, I was gonna cancel too. So she was gonna cancel on me because she's kind of similar. She was like, I don't really feel like going. She lived in OC, which I didn't know, and she was gonna drive all to LA. And then so she was gonna cancel, but she's like, for some reason, I was like, I just felt like I'll just go. And then very crazy. So then we still don't really know a bunch about each other, but she kind of said the same thing that we later were talking about it. She's like, it felt like I had known you for years, and it was like a weird feeling. So we go to Universal Studios, and that's probably the day I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry this girl, because
Wow. So then pretty much the next date.
it was like I said, I've never been that person. So it still
You were
blows
sprung,
my
huh?
honestly. It still blows my mind, like dead ass.
Yeah.
But we were like the pivotal moments, like we're waiting in line for Super Mario World had just came out, or whatever it's called, Mario World. And there was like a line for one of the things that was long as fuck, like 2 hour, 3 hour long wait. So I looked at her and I'm like, if you don't know me now, you're going to know me by the end of this line. And she started cracking up. And so that whole like 2.5, 3 hours, we're just talking about life and everything. And I was like we are like very similar people. And that feeling of like, I've known you forever, like it just kept feeling like that. So then we just started we started talking more and more often, and we were like hanging out and going on dates like every week. And then she was like, oh yeah. So we were going on dates, and I was like kind of like, I'd rather live closer, and LA was getting kind of played out for me. I've been OC, and I was like, I like it. She's like, you should move down here. And I was like, yeah, or maybe I brought it up. I don't know. But so I started looking for jobs out here, and then I ended up getting with a firm out here, and then transferring over and moving out here, and then we moved in together. But right before I moved, I was like, I'm going to propose. So, yeah.
Oh, wait. Give me the timeline for all this, because this is moving pretty quick.
So I proposed in, was it after my birthday?
That's so lawyer of you.
I knew it was. I was going to say August, but I wasn't sure.
Okay.
But yeah, so I proposed in August. All right.
August. Oh,
Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, I proposed in August of last year, and so that would be, I guess we met in February, March, April, May, June, July. 6 months, yeah. So we'd been together 6 months, and then our anniversary was like March, or technically April. That's a whole inside thing between us. It was supposed to be March, but her birthday's in March, so we moved it so it wasn't so close to her birthday. So when we celebrate our anniversary, it's not like overlapping with her birthday.
Yeah, it's not like a double whammy.
Exactly. So our anniversary's in April, so we had technically been dating for like 4 months or something like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Sorry, no.
Yeah, no problem.
That's just as good, just wild to me when I hear that, because you're coming from a background that you were not even in a position to really want to be in a relationship.
Literally.
And then now you're engaged.
Literally, yeah.
So it feels like you guys already moved fast right off the bat. It's about to be a year for your 1 year anniversary. When is the wedding?
Yeah. So the wedding is actually 2/25/25. Super cool date.
Oh, okay.
Which is, if you guys remember, it's the day we met. So it's actually a 2 year anniversary of the day we met.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So that's a double whammy, though.
That's a
your
double
anniversary and your wedding being on the same
Yeah.
day.
So our anniversary and so our anniversary is in April, but technically the anniversary of the day we met.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be, but I think that'll probably replace our actual anniversary. I don't know do people celebrate wedding anniversaries and like anniversaries?
That's actually a good question. I don't know how people choose those things.
Yeah.
My anniversaries have been really messed up. It's really weird. What
What do you mean by messed up?
So I was in a relationship for almost 10 years, and that one we celebrated our anniversary every single month. So
For
that's
10 years?
for almost 10 years. Yeah.
Oh.
So that was insane, right? Just like the amount of consistency that goes into that.
Well, what kind of celebrations are we talking? Are we talking like, hey, babe?
Like a dinner, like a gift, Yeah, something special. I think that burnt me out, because the
Fuck.
next girlfriend I had, I don't think we almost celebrate our anniversary
Oh
at all.
God.
And for like that was almost for 4 years, and we didn't celebrate
Holy
almost at all.
shit. 10 years every month though?
Yeah, every month,
Fuck. That's like
month
what,
after
1,200
month.
anniversaries you've had?
Dude, it was a lot.
You've had a lifetime of anniversaries.
No, man, you're 100% right. It was a lot.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know
Damn.
how it works. You know, in reality, I don't know how it works outside of my own relationship. You know.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah, that caught me off guard.
Yeah. So we got a little crazy in both of us, I guess.
Damn.
Imagine
Oh.
the pressure to like always do something.
Yeah, because I'm like, every time we're celebrating something, I'm always like, I have to do at least a little bit better than the last one. Because if you do worse, it's like, I feel like the girl at least is going to know. It's like, us guys, I feel like we're not really kind of huge on that. So if it's not as good or if it's not something crazy, it's like, cool, I'm just happy you thought of me.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like from a girl's perspective, it's a little more like if you do some like half-ass shit, it's going to be a problem.
They know. They know.
know.
They're keeping track.
Yeah,
They'll
it's like-
compare the other years too. Like, why is this year the 9th year and is worse than the 7th year?
Yeah.
You know, they'll know.
But that also could be from our perspective. We could be totally wrong, but
I mean,
it
yeah,
feels like
I'm
it
only
sometimes.
speaking about my own relationships. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't say because again, my other relationship, we didn't celebrate at all. That was the weird part. I was like, wow, you don't care at all.
Was
Like, not
that,
even
was that your choice or her choice to not celebrate?
You know what? So this is just again from my perspective. I think she accepted the way I was thinking about relationships at that point, which wasn't so like rose-colored glasses.
Okay.
So she kind of just let it go,
I see.
you know. And I think if it were up to her, she would always be treated special, like every single day, not just every month.
I
And
see, I
that's
see.
that's what I feel like would normally get, and I think it was a little different with me, you know.
I see.
And that's funny because normally my significant others would get that too, but that 10-year relationship, I was just like, oh, I'm so burnt out.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. So she seems like that. The second one seemed like at least she was more probably similar, like kind of my fiance. Because although I say that I'm like, it seems like it would be shitty if I don't do as good the last one. It's never really been like that though, because although I try to match the energy continually, because I don't want to feel like I'm like
Yeah.
fucking around and just slacking off. But it's weird because I feel like sometimes, or like in your situation, it's probably similar because you don't feel like, at least in mine and probably the 4-year one, that pressure of like you have to do better, you have to do this,
Yeah.
which I mean can be good or can be bad. I don't know if
There's pros and cons to it, I think it's different for everyone. I definitely feel like I still made certain occasions special for the shorter one. Like her birthdays, it was like something I would always do something special. So it wasn't like I acted like we didn't have a relationship at all,
yeah.
But it wasn't something that we celebrate all the time as far as a anniversary goes. But we spent a lot of time together, which was different. I mean, I spent a lot of time with the one 10 years, so you can imagine after 10 years, it could be a significant amount of time you spend with each other. But the 4-year one, it was different in a way where we were more intentional with our time together. Like we had date nights and things like that.
I see.
Whereas with the 10-year one, it was just, oh, whatever happened. Like, are you free? Cool, or we had weddings to go to or something like that. But
I see.
aside from that, we didn't really set time aside to be with each other. Also, different points in our lives where we got busier and stuff. So
Yeah.
you have to be intentional with like date nights and things like that.
You do.
Because then you'll never see each other.
That's 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that how it started with you? Because I mean, I know that I'm assuming this is the first time you've been engaged.
Yeah.
Okay. You cut that out.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
assume
the only
correctly. All right.
time.
Cool. So, for your first time being engaged, I'm sure that was there a difference between you prior to the engagement and you now being engaged as far as like how your dynamic with your significant other is?
I don't really feel like it's. I thought at least prior, because I don't know how this works. I'm like figuring out my way through life and all this stuff. But yeah, I guess I had this probably thought process that you get engaged and like shit really changes. But at least maybe for some people it does. But at least for us, it really didn't. It felt like it got a lot better because but that could be a combination of things, not just being engaged. Because prior to being engaged, we didn't live together. She was driving all the way to Orange County to see me. That's tolling, and like we were, it was fine. It wasn't like there was problems because of it. But like realistically, it's hard to like do all that traveling, and I guess it does force you to like make time because like, oh, we're making time. But since living together, it hasn't felt like, oh, we live together now, so we're not going to make time for each other. But it does feel like it's easier to kind of show the other person love when you're that close to them, or at least in close proximity, because when you're only seeing someone once a week, it's like you really have to like use that time to show like I really care about you.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you're together all the time, it's much easier to like do smaller things to like let people know like, oh, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
So I think in that aspect, it definitely got better after being engaged. But I don't think it was from being engaged. I think getting engaged, at least for me, took a lot of pressure because I was like fucking super nervous prior because like I know I want to marry her and like don't fuck it up kind of thing. Like, at least I feel like it's probably most guys in that scenario. If you know, okay, I want to go long term, I think it creates a lot of like nervousness, like don't mess this up, kind of like do things right. And then once you get engaged, you're like, okay, like I got that part of the way. I mean, there's still a don't fuck it up aspect because I mean, someone can divorce you if they wanted.
Yeah, and you're a lawyer, so I'm sure you know a thing or two about divorces.
You know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess the pressure is still kind of there, but it's a much different pressure because it feels like we're both in this together, as opposed to me like feeling prior like, oh, I gotta like, you know, make sure I'm doing things right to like show the right way as to like how I can get to where I want to get to. Whereas now it's like, cool, now we're just like living and kind of living lives and showing each other how we love each other on a more, you know, daily, easy basis, as opposed to
Full production.
yeah.
You know how you said that you weren't really prioritizing dating when you had met her, and you're just the kind of guy who typically just focuses on progressing like forward with your life, right? Just making sure that you're taking care of yourself. And you're a lawyer, right? So you went to law school and you did all that stuff to make sure that you're financially taken care of and your career is taken care of. So did you have a time frame where you did focus a little bit more on dating at all? Because it sounds like you've been busy since
You know,
forever.
honestly, not really, which is so weird. Yeah, there wasn't really a period in my life where I was like super focused on dating. I don't know. When I was in high school, I was like super nerdy. I'd fucking go to the mall and do magic tricks for people and shit.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
You know,
I think that's tight.
Looking back on it, I'm like, oh, it's fucking cool because I still know magic tricks and I'll show them to people and they're like, holy shit. But like when you're in high school, looking back, it's cool. But in the moment, you know,
I think it depends on the group that you're showing it to, right?
Exactly. So, and I wasn't like picking up girls showing the magic tricks. I was like showing them like elderly couples, and like in the town we lived in, there was a really small town, so it wasn't like that. And I was like probably one of the very few black people in the town. It was like predominantly white, so it's like it's a little different than like if you're living in LA where it's like more diverse and you kind of feel like, oh, you know, people around me look like me. It's much different growing up, and or at least not growing up, but going through those like prepubescent teen years, or you know, as like, you know, a one of a kind kind of feeling.
Yeah, true. That makes sense. I mean, now that you said that you didn't really pick up girls doing that and you showed it more to the elderly, was it ever a thought in your mind that like, oh, I could do this to like get women?
You know, I guess it kind of was, but like the I guess the other backstory to like how it ends up being where I like kind of gave up, because it's funny, because not gave up but just didn't try, because so I always say like, oh, I wasn't really like into that, because in high school my whole thing was I want to go to college, and I thought it's stupid to date someone in high school because I'm gonna leave to go to college anyway. What's the point? But that was probably a little bit of like a defense mechanism, because I was like, I was short, I was chunky, I was like, you know, kind of goofy. I didn't like grow into my looks yet, so it was like not really working out for me. And as a defense mechanism, I go, I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to college anyway. And then when I got to college, I was still chunky. It wasn't until law school I was like, at the end of college, I think I was like 320-ish pounds. Oh, damn. And I went, or at the end of college, not law school. At the end of college, I was like 320. And then when I went to law school, I was like, I gotta lose weight. So at the like my senior year, last semester, I lost like almost 200 pounds.
Damn, nice, dude.
It's crazy.
How'd you do that?
was horrible. I never want to do it again. I'm like a little chunky now, so I'm gonna have to get back into. I'm gonna have to get back into it. But this is
Yeah.
like old age weight.
Okay.
No,
Metabolism slowed down. Wait. Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
yeah, no, I literally ate chicken and rice and broccoli every day, or tuna sometimes for fucking like 6 months. So I lost that like it was like I went from 320 to like 175 in like 6 months.
That's
I don't know how
insane.
fucking healthy that is, but like, I did it.
Probably not very healthy, but I mean, you got two choices, right? Like physically healthy or mentally healthy, right? So I guess
Exactly.
that's like the trade off. But damn, that's insane though.
So yeah,
So that's why you didn't prioritize it because you're like, I gotta go to college. And did you always know you're gonna be in law?
actually, not really. Weird story. I thought so. I went to school at Arizona State for business and film, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna like. I had no fucking clue what I was gonna do after law school. I mean, after college, and so I was like, I was a business major, film major, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it was my senior year, right before I started losing weight. I was talking to my mom, and she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do after like you graduate?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I don't know. Find a job somewhere in Phoenix, and hopefully, support myself." And then she was like, well, "Why don't you just go to law school?" And I was like, "All right." And then she was like, "Yeah, I looked some up here." So I like applied to the one, one of the ones she like looked up, and funny thing, I actually had shitty grades, like shitty grades. It's so when I was in high school, I was like, I was like kind of nerdy and all that, but I was like really hungry to like have friends and be in social groups. So I was always more focused on like trying to hang out with people as opposed and make friends and like be cool, even though I wasn't. But then like worrying about grades. So my GPA in high school was like super low. And then when I went to college, it was the same concept. Like I was never lacking in intelligence, but I wanted to do other things more. And and I have an additional story into that. But so when I ended college, I probably had like a 2.5 GPA or something.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I got into like a law school that luckily would let me in, and then
I didn't even know that existed. That's wild.
yeah, it well, they don't really, they don't.
Really?
So like there's like lower law schools that like you can get in if you have like not as great grades. Still not the best, but like because you may not still get in or. Sometimes it can be hard to get a job, but I have a bunch of friends who went there and they're doing fine. So I went there and something clicked in my head where I was like, all right, time to actually apply myself. So I went from like a 2.5 student to like 10th in the class or something of like
Oh, wow.
200 and some
Damn.
people. And then I transferred to University of San Diego. So they were both schools were in San Diego, but I transferred there because it's like a better law school. And the whole thing is when you're in law school is if you go to a higher ranked law school, you get a better job. It kind of works out that way, but after you've been practicing, it just matters if you're good or not.
Yeah. It seems like it matters if you're good or not, or like your name is big, right?
That's about it, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So it sounds like it wasn't until literally after law school and you going into law you're like, oh, and even then you weren't sure that you were gonna take this seriously, right? Because you almost bailed.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Your whole life would have been completely different if you just,
Man.
if you decided like, I'm a little bit lazy today. I'm just gonna stay back and focus on my career. Right?
Yeah, no, literally, it's like it's a weird thought that one decision. Well, I guess I was thinking about it more recently, and yeah, it's weird to think that one little time, a moment, if I would have just been like, I'm gonna work or I'm not gonna go, completely different. I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah,
It's crazy,
exactly.
literally crazy. And I kind of was like really thinking about that, and I kind of came to this realization. Could be crazy, but it made me feel like it makes more sense when you think of it that way. And I was talking to, I have a brother who just turned 18. He went to the army, and I was kind of explaining it to him because he's like, doing his 18-year-old shit before he went away. Now he's like on his shit now, but he was like, dicking around. I told him, I was like, I realize, and I feel like a lot of people realize later in life when you're older that life isn't exactly what you think it is, because you think life is like this grand thing. And like, I was thinking about it one day. I'm like, life is actually just a bunch of tiny decisions that you're making, and you have no clue where they're going to get you. You're just hoping that the decisions you make are going to get you where you want to go. And I was kind of explaining to him, like, stop fucking around. Like, this shit all matters. And now he's like doing his shit. So
Just a random question.
yeah.
But did you believe in love prior to your significant other, your fiance?
I don't really think so. Like, yes, Yes, because like I have friends, I've seen people, and like I've been in relationships in the past. Like I wasn't
Hmm.
like non-dating, and it's like the
Yeah.
first girlfriend I ever had and then married. So I had relationships, and I've seen people, and I have people in my family that got married and stuff like that. So I knew it was real, but I always had this concept that love was like this thing that you just make. Like it's just like you work and it creates love, but love can't just happen. Like you can't just fall in love with a person. You have to like work and create this like love,
Mm.
which now I think is like completely a twisted fucking idea of love.
Really?
but because now I'm like, oh, like it doesn't really. I mean, it can be that way. You can create love if you work enough with someone that you care about. You can create a really loving atmosphere, and you can fall in love, and you can do it that way. But
Mm.
it's not the only way. It's not the only thing that love is, and I've kind of learned that, especially after this situation, or this relationship. No,
I know you, man. I know
yeah,
you.
yeah. After getting in this relationship and getting engaged, I kind of realized like, okay, yeah, love it isn't what I thought it is. And I feel like probably for the rest of my life, I'm going to learn a lot of different things because a lot of people talk about when they have kids, like they
Mhm.
realize like another aspect of love. So, I mean, yeah, it's complicated, I guess.
Huh. Okay. So I gotta ask you this. Since you're a lawyer and lawyers love to define things, right, within
Ooh,
guidelines, I'm gonna ask you to define love to the best of like your capability.
damn. That's that's a good one.
Oh, thank you.
If I could define
Mm-hmm.
love, man, I feel like now my definition of love is probably a little different, but if I could define it for me in my present, space and time and being engaged, I feel like for me at least love is like when you look at someone and you or someone I could be something, if you love a car or whatever, but for me a person, right? Um is when you look at someone or I look at my fiance and all I can think about is I can't wait for what comes next. So I guess my definition would probably be when you think of something and all that, that's something that you're thinking of, all that brings is, you know, more thinking of what can come in the future.
Mm.
So mm, I guess when you think about something and all you can think about from that thought is hope and kind of what's gonna come and the good things that are come and kind of foreseeing great things. I feel like that is more my definition of love
Mm.
now because now I look at my fiance and I'm just like, damn, like what this is great. Like what's coming? Like what's the future hold?
Yeah, that's a good definition. That's very different than what I thought you were gonna say. I mean,
More like logical. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. No, that's good because again, you redefined it to what you know as of right now,
yeah,
right? Which is great, and I think in a lot of ways, the word love is very subjective, right?
oh yeah,
And no two people are gonna describe it exactly the same, and even if they might describe it exactly the same, what they mean might be completely different,
yeah.
right? So, I mean, because you're mentioning that love is something that you look forward to, like the future brings hope, right? This
Hmm.
is where you look at this person, and a lot of people they talk about the future, right? When it brings hope, typically also brings like a sense of like anxiety too, pressures because they
Huh.
say if you're living in the future, typically, or you're anxious, you're living in the future, and if you're depressed, you're living in the past, typically, right? But
Yeah.
in the case of the way you're talking about your future wife or your fiance, it's sounds like it's redefined from a space that's not how you typically would understand something from law,
Yeah.
right? So when you told her that you loved her, like how did that come about and why?
Yeah. Damn. That's you give me with the good ones today,
I'm
man.
trying, I'm trying, man.
How did it come about? I don't know. It's that's a really good question because I guess it's really hard to kind of define or note that moment. And I think it was more of a culmination of like the beginning and how things were going, and every time we saw each other, how it felt when I was with
Mm.
her, and it I guess it's like this feeling of, like I said, you start thinking like, where is this gonna go? Like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like, what's gonna come? And and you're right. Sometimes when you think of the future, it does get anxious. When I think career future wise, I do get like nervous and anxious, like, oh shit, like what am I gonna do? How's this gonna go? But for some reason, when I always think about, oh, like what's gonna be next for us, it was never nervous. It was never stressful until obviously proposing.
Yeah.
Now I was like fucking super nervous, um, but I think it was kind of a culmination of the beginning because things were so amazing, and all I could think about is where I wanted to be in the future with her. And I think that's really what kind of brought about that feeling of like I love you, like I love this girl, and yeah, I think that's kind of how it happened for me.
That makes sense. That aligns with
Yeah,
the definition of love too. So since you guys, it's I was actually surprised that you mentioned that your wedding was going to be next year. Just because of the pacing,
Yeah.
because I'm curious how you decide to put down the brakes a little bit.
Honestly, it's really more so from a perspective of like saving money from a wedding and like the date. Because we were thinking of dates, like what date would be good, and kind of picking a date. And I thought it would be really cool to do the day we met, because that's cool. And then 2/25/25, just a really cool vanity date. And that's kind of how we landed on that date a year out. If weddings were way cheap, honestly, we'd probably be married sooner.
Now that's the reason for the day of your wedding, and I noticed that you said a lot about the future. We talked a lot about the future here, right? What do you have? I'm not trying to word this in a bad way
Yeah.
because I don't mean it like that at all. But moving this quickly and looking forward to the future a lot, like what are the things you're looking forward to in the future?
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound bad at all.
Yeah, so I had to reword it. In my mind, it sounded bad because I was
Yeah.
like, "What?" I almost said, "What do you have left to look forward to in the future?" You see, so I had to reword that a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, I see what you mean. Yeah, I get it. Cause yeah, like right when you're dating a girl, you're looking forward to getting married, and for some people it takes years, and
Yeah.
and that's what you're looking forward to. When you get married, then there's the next thing, next thing, next thing. Yeah, yeah. For us, I mean, it's just more so looking forward to kids, getting a house, and then, like I said, and kind of with kind of my definition of love, I think a big aspect of it is why I feel like that's my definition now, because normally you do kind of feel that way, right? As like what is there left? And that is past me more how I would think about things. Once I do one thing, what's next? What's next? And when you kind of run out of things, you're like, what the fuck do I do now? But kind of with this definition of love after meeting my fiance, it's more of a what can't we do next, right? That's kind of how I see it. And that's why it's never causing stress. And so, obviously kids, looking forward to that, and house and stuff like that. But for me, it kind of feels like this endless possibility of like, there's a million and one things we can do. I guess we'll go ahead and figure them out and do them. So I think it probably switches that feeling of like, shit, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
As of now, my thought process is like everything.
What's your wife's name? Sorry, or your fiance's name?
Fiance, yeah,
Sorry,
Tia.
Tia.
Yeah.
What does Tia do for
So
work?
Tia works in mortgage, like
Oh.
financing stuff. I don't know. It's probably more complicated than I understand, because I haven't like dug in like, tell me exactly what you do. I know she does stuff with the process of like getting papers together for like refis and stuff like
Okay.
that, and figuring all that stuff out. So I know it's like complicated, but I don't usually kind of ask her a ton about it, and then we try not to. I blab about work generally because like stuff will be on my mind, and I'll talk to her, and I know she's like, I don't really want to hear all this shit.
Oh, really?
But yeah, because law stuff is pretty much boring, to be honest. Like unless you're in like crazy cases, like then it's like holy shit.
So it's not like Suits all the time.
No, it's the show. I've never seen Suits actually.
Oh, really?
I refuse to watch lawyer shows and movies just because, like, one, I do that. So I'm like, I don't really want to watch it. It's not fun to watch. And then two, you see a lot of shows and it's like not like that. Like you're not in the court like arguing cases like how it shows in a lot of shows, and it's like really glorified and all this like holy shit, it's crazy. It's not really like, there's a lot more like behind the desk, like putting things together, figuring things out, and then for a possibility to be in court, but only was it like 3% or 3% of cases go to trial.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 97% settle, because most of the time, right, it's like generally you're suing like a business, and like along with not wanting to like cave into someone suing them, the second aspect, it has to be like a business efficient move, right? And if they realize it's saves more money just to like settle, then they may just do that. Or if they want to push or fight, then they may go that route. But most of the time, a lot, like 97% of cases settle just because businesses make businesses moves.
Gotcha. Wow, you just ruined Suits for me like that. No, I'm just kidding. I kind of want to ask you, you're in law. You also do music.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you make?
Yeah, rap.
Rap. Okay.
Yeah.
I would assume it's a very fine line on how you could represent yourself as a lawyer and as a rapper.
Yeah, it's I'm living the Hannah Montana life.
So how do you do that?
Yeah, it's literally complete separate life. So I more recently started actually putting my music out there and like getting more popularity around some of my songs. So I mean, I don't know what if one of my songs blows up and takes off. I don't know how that's gonna go because then it's like a decision has to be made, right? But yeah, it's completely separate because in rap everything I'm a lawyer. I'm like and rap isn't always like that. How many rappers unless you're Will Smith from 19 or whatever year that was, rap isn't really like that. So yeah, it's like a literal complete separate life that people at work don't know about, and then my friends all know about because they can know both. It doesn't matter, but it's definitely hard to kind of put your stuff out there because you kind of have that fear, like if it does blow up or starts getting seen, then people you work with are gonna know that you make music, and so that what are they gonna think about it?
So do you? What do you rap about at that point?
Yeah.
What can you rap about?
I rap about everything that most people rap about. I mean, not really drugs. I try to be more like realistic. Like, people rapping about drugs and killing people. I don't do that shit. Most people don't do that shit. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I just, rap about real stuff. A lot of my songs, when I really think about it, they're more melodic, kind of A-boogie kind of feel.
Okay.
But it's always been more about like girls. That's really the area that, although I never really got girls growing up and it wasn't my thing, that's just the most relatable thing that I can actually rap about without like rapping about like fucking illegal crazy shit.
Yeah. Was it always like that though? Or was it like, oh shit, I'm pursuing law, so therefore now I kind of have to pivot?
It kind of was always like that because even when I was younger and I was rapping and saying stuff, like I kind of want to veer away from that because like I said, people will rap about it even if that's not who they are. And some people it is who they are, but it's like it wasn't me, and it felt weird if I was rapping about stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like now with the aspect of like getting girls or whatever, and most of the songs most of my songs aren't about getting girls. It's like songs like from the perspective of a guy trying to get a girl, which is definitely the life I lived because like although I wasn't like super enveloped in like trying to get in relationships and all that stuff, it's like I was still an 18-year-old boy that obviously wanted to talk to girls. So it kind of has always been that way. And also like I never wanted to rap about something that if someone listened to it and believed it, like I don't know, I may have maybe a song when I was like 20 that like completely is nonsensical, but I never want to make a song that if someone listened and believed it, like, oh, that's who you are. I don't want to create this like persona and people think I'm this like person that's like really not me, especially if it's about like some fucked up shit.
Yeah, no, I can see that. So do you watch podcasts or listen to podcasts?
I listen more so because of my fiance Tia, because she
really?
watches like Andrew Schultz like and all those
Yeah.
main ones. And I never really was watching a ton of podcasts. I would listen to a few. Like when I was in law school, I was listening to this Harry Potter one because I love Harry Potter. And it was like talking through all this band stuff. And I was like, damn, this is really nerdy of me, but I fuck with it.
Yeah. Well, there's podcasts for everything. So.
Yeah, no, literally. But yeah, so I got into it more recently because she watches them. I'm like, oh, this is actually really interesting. And I watched Lori's episode and I was like, oh, this shit's really interesting. That's why I was like, I would definitely come on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
It was dope.
The reason why I ask is there is this divorce lawyer who's been kind of hopping around podcasts, different podcasts. And he's pretty big, but I think he was really big prior to the podcast. He's written books, but now it's just he's everywhere, right? And one of the things that he speaks about as far as relationship goes is that your significant other basically has to be one of your biggest fans. And the reason why I asked you is because you pursue music.
Yeah.
Would you say that Tia is one of your biggest fans?
Yeah, actually, that's a really, I've never heard of this guy, but he's smart dude. But it's a true statement. Yeah, because like growing up, I was never the most confident person, obviously, from the stuff I was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and on top of being like chunky and short, I was bullied hardcore when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger. So I don't really have a ton of confidence. So when I started putting music out, going under like a pseudonym, Survive, which is what I go under, it was like easy because it's like, it's not me, it's this other person no one knows. And then, I always do that thing where I'll throw a song on the car, like, what do you guys think of this? I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. It's me.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, I would definitely say she is my biggest fan because she definitely will like kind of push me to even release my stuff because I just released like an EP actually,
Mm.
and I'll make like 30 or 40 songs and they'll just be sitting on my computer and never release them, like literally,
Wow.
because I'll kind of be like, it could be better, I could get better, and kind of like judging my own stuff. And then, I had these like 6 or 7 songs or 6 songs, and she's like, these are really good, just put them out. And I was like, all right. So she is my biggest fan and definitely kind of encourages me to actually, put stuff out, and kind of helps me when I'm, what should I make next? What should I do? And she's like, do it this way, or, try this. So, no, that's a good point. Cause I think if she was like, I don't fucking like your music, or I don't know why you do this, I think it's hard to then pursue something that you enjoy. And honestly, that's probably really taxing a relationship, right? Because if something like that's like really big to you, like say you're like a rock collector and you're like significant other's like, I fucking hate rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long that can really last, because then either you're gonna do it and hide it, which is horrible, or you're gonna not do it and now you're probably not very happy because you've given up something that you really like
Yeah.
or love, an aspect. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely she is.
I think that's the best dynamic in when you're your biggest critic, to have a significant other that's your biggest fan
Yeah,
really
no,
helps out.
it does.
Because I've definitely been on the other side where I'm my biggest critic and my significant other is also my second
Damn.
biggest critic. It is exactly what you're saying. It does get taxing
Yeah.
because then you don't know what to do. And, do you feel like you could talk to Tia about most things? I mean, I know that you said work is, yeah, it's kind of like boring, so you try not to, but in general, like the things that you enjoy, because you mentioned you did magic too.
Yeah, there really isn't anything that I don't feel like, oh, I don't want to talk to her or tell her, where it's like something I like to do,
Mm.
and then it's like, I'm just not gonna say. Now it's been like pretty from the start. I kind of we just talked about everything, and most of my stuff, like I said, it's really just magic, work, and music. And then like I love to like watch movies and watch shows, which I always thought was like a problem because like I can be a super duper couch potato. No problem. Easy. I love it. And she can too. That's like the first thing we were talking about when we first started dating. And I was like, yes, this is perfect. Um, oh, actually, I just remembered something. The real exact, slightly a joke, but the exact moment I knew I was going to marry her is after we went on a date to Universal Studios. We were leaving and she was like, I was like, oh, you want to get to eat? And I was like, oh, she's probably going to want to go to a restaurant or something like that. Most girls want to go on a nice date. And she's like, oh, we'll just order a pizza and chill. And I was like, marrying you.
Yeah, no, I can see that. There's not too many girls that I know that think like that. But funny enough, my significant other prior, my ex, actually was kind of similar like that. She was like, "Oh yeah, we don't have to celebrate our anniversary. You just go at McDonald's." I was like, "Wow, what do you mean go get McDonald's? Like that's kind of crazy?" But also even my ex of 10 years, she didn't really like fine dining either. Like she just was okay with like cheap foods. So I guess it's more common than not because I haven't really had to deal with
Yeah.
too many significant others wanting like fine dining. But I do hear a lot about it. Like I still do it just because I'm like,
Yeah.
how about we just go eat something nicer, right?
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Yeah, now you say that, I feel like it probably isn't as common, but maybe in our guy mind, right? Your thought process is like, in movies kind of show you this, movies and shows and media,
mhm.
you kind of think this is how it's supposed to be. And whenever a girl is like, nah, cool, McDonald's, whatever, it's like, holy fucking
Yeah,
shit.
mind
You're like, oh
blown,
my
no
God.
shit.
And it's like, yeah, everyone's actually like that. It's
Yeah.
probably really regular, but yeah, I remember it blew my mind. And I was like, holy shit.
I know you guys, it's your 1 year is about to come up, but have you guys had any arguments yet?
Yeah. I mean, it's if someone was to tell you, hopefully no one comes on here and says this, but someone looks you in your face and tells you they've been dating someone for like a year or 2 years, and like they've never argued with their significant other, either they're fucking lying,
Mhm.
or like I don't know what drugs they're on. some
Yeah.
good ones, because I think
So good.
I think it's impossible. Not that I condone taking drugs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Definitely not.
no, no, I don't think it's possible, because even when you're, either you're really alike, really similar to your significant other, or you're, opposites, because they say opposites attract. So
Mhm.
one or the other is a scenario, right? Either you're like them or you're not. And in both scenarios, it's impossible to not, have an argument about just even something. It doesn't have to be like a crazy blowout where you're like
Mhm.
screaming, but you're gonna have a disagreement, because if you're opposites and someone likes something and you don't, you're disagreeing. If you're super alike, the thing is that you'll be talking about something that you may like more than the other person, or you
Mhm.
feel a certain way about this thing that you like and they like it too, but they feel differently, and now you're in a disagreement. So yeah, we definitely have, but it's been super easy, because
Mhm.
I'm really big on communication and like just talking things through, which I think is kind of far and few between nowadays. A lot of people kind of avoid communicating, because it's really easy to just pretend and, just kind of push it to the side and move on.
Mhm.
But I'm really big on let's talk it out. So I think that's made it super easy, because if we disagree about something, we'll sit and talk about it and then it's gone. And
Mhm.
it just kind of just fades. And that's, you know part of the thing that's crazy to me, because I always thought like you gotta, like I said, in the past, that they had to work and kind of force love almost, whereas now I'm like, it can be easy,
Mhm.
and it has been for me, at least.
Yeah, the reason why I ask is because you're a lawyer. So it's like, dude, when you say you're good at communicating, are you good at communicating things in a way like a lawyer communicates things? Or are you good at communicating things that like improve your relationship? Because in a relationship, I feel like personally it's not about right and wrong. Sometimes it's about what's best for the relationship. And sometimes
Yeah,
that is the right thing to do, like not like semantically like right or
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
but
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point, because so I do tend to be good with communicating if it's something that I'm like, oh, let's, like, if it's just to progress, like, not an argument, but just to progress a relationship and talk about something, put it in the air and kind of just discuss things. I am pretty good with that, but I will say the caveat to me is like in a disagreement, and it's been something I try to work on, because that lawyer kind of brain ticks in. It's real. Like, we'll be talking about something, and then, I almost kind of go into lawyering to explain my points and explain why, like, I want you to see it my side. And, you know, although it is really always good to see it from the other person's side, sometimes I feel like that doesn't make me get caught up, because if you're too busy trying to explain your side to someone else, then how are you going to see theirs, right?
Mhm.
You're too
Yeah.
busy telling them, see it from my side, but you're not seeing it from there. So that is something that, I do try to be conscious of, because that's how lawyers operate. We don't, we see other people's sides, but we're not going to tell you really as a other side that we see your side. We just want you to acknowledge ours,
Yeah, yeah.
which doesn't work in relationships.
Hmm. Do you think that you being a lawyer and knowing, because it's not like you practice family law or divorce law, but I'm sure you know things about it, right? Knowing
Yeah.
general pitfalls and things like that. Do you try to avoid these things with Tia, or do you just not even think that you guys are in the same pocket of people that will fall into those things?
Um, I guess maybe I don't know enough about those areas of law.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the pitfalls that I would know about is just like the same ones that probably most people know about, that fucking derail a relationship, the shit you just don't do,
Mm-hmm.
can, like, fuck shit up. Um, I kind of never feel like we're in that segment, but then again, I can't really say that, because everyone always wants to say and feel like that couldn't happen, that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But being a realist and being a lawyer, like, shit always happens. So it's not more so that I'm like, we're not that person. It's like, whoa, if we communicate and we keep operating how we're operating, show each other love, then we don't get to that place. Because people will, think it's one way and it'll be great, and then shit happens and you don't talk about it, or you don't do seeing things a certain way, or you're kind of ignoring the person. Shit can get bad quick, down the line. You do that for 10 years, 20 years. Like, if you're ignoring your partner, say your partner needs something and they're expressing like, this is something I want, 20 years, and you don't do it, shit's gonna get bad.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that I'm like, oh, we're not those people, because I don't think of it as like a group of people. It's like, I think of it as, I'm going to do everything I can to prevent us from ever getting in that space, because I'm going to make sure that I'm always showing you I'm here. I'm always here to listen. I care. And I don't care what it is. I'm going to be there and figure it out with you. And I think that kind of mentality helps you not get to a point where shit's just like, uh-oh, it's, all hell's broken loose and it's shit's hitting the wall, because it's hard to get there if you're constantly kind of being there for one another.
Yeah, no, especially if you're good at communication. So definitely, it sounds like you guys are on track. If you guys have talked about so many things in less than a year,
Yeah.
I can't imagine, right?
You know?
Like the wedding, marriage, and so before you proposed to her, did you guys already talk about marriage?
Before I proposed, yeah, we definitely talked about marriage, but not in the sense of like, I'm gonna marry you. Like, yeah, it was kind of like it came up that, she was in a relationship, and I think someone asked her like, wow, you're like really happy. Like, what would you do if, he proposed to you? And then she was like, I'd say yes, to be honest.
Oh,
And so she had told me that, and I already knew, like, I'm like, man, I'm marrying this girl. I already knew before this conversation, but the conversation came up, and I was like, yeah, I already want to marry you. And then that moment happened. I was like, oh, so I know she'll say yes. You don't always really know, because
Yeah.
you're still like, hope she says yes. But we never really talked about it, really. It was just kind of a conversation. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, like, yeah, absolutely. And then it was kind of that conversation, like, yeah, if it happened, I definitely would. And then I think pretty shortly after that, it was pretty close to when I proposed. It came up when I was already kind of in the process of like, all right, getting mentally ready. All right, I'm gonna go get the ring. And then I had to meet her family and all that. And,
do you think by any chance she like said that, like placed that there,
you know,
planted the seed a little bit? I mean, not planted the seed because you already
Yeah,
had that
yeah,
idea
yeah.
in your head, but more so like gave you the green light, right?
I don't really know if she did it like as like she said it like as like go ahead and do it, because it was early on, right? So I don't think that she entirely expects like, oh, he's gonna propose like soon. Like it probably was like a green light, as in like, I really can see myself getting there with you for sure. Like you're definitely a person I want to get there with. So it's probably in that sense of like a reassurance, like I see you as being that person and my person. But I don't know if it was like a plan C to like go ahead and get it done.
Yeah.
Not that C, but definitely the reassurance, like kind of at least letting me know that like, I felt like she was my person and she's my person. And it was kind of that, okay, she feels the same way. Perfect.
You're probably 1 out of 5 people that I know that's gone to the stage this quickly. I've met a couple of people who are, they're still together, by the way. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything against this statistic, but yeah. But I've never gotten it from the way you said it. You said it in a different way than a lot of other people. Usually other people are like, oh, I'm just ready to be married, and you seem to have not even have thought about that.
Yeah.
And it was just this person, it was like, if you know type of thing, right?
Yes. It's trust me, it's as weird saying is hearing it, because beforehand, like I didn't think that was a thing. I definitely wasn't like looking to get married. I was like, wasn't really gonna go on a date. She was really cool, and I was like, wow, holy shit, like this is amazing. And everything just happened so quick, and this period of time felt like years. And yeah, it's weird, because I wasn't at the point of like, some people are at that, like I just want to get married and hopefully that person comes along. And then the person comes along and like, yep, this is the person, let's get married. And for me, it was like kind of like the opposite. I was like, I was kind of like, if I don't get married, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then a person came along and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not letting this person out of my life.
Because was your stance on marriage always, there was a possibility that you would? Like you're open to it?
I was open to marriage. Like I wasn't like, I'm not getting married, but I also was like, there's probably a possibility I didn't get married, because I was like, I mean, it wasn't a thing that I was like really worried about. Like a lot of people do kind of have that worry where they're like, I want to be married and I can't not be married. Whereas I kind of had this thought like, I mean, being married be nice. I want to be married, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not going to force it. I'm not like out looking for it. So, which I don't know if that really works for everyone. Because if you're not like looking for something, not often, like in my situation, does something like just happen and you're like, falls out of the sky.
Yeah. The reason I say that is because I don't want to get married.
No?
No, I'm not even like really open to it.
Is this a recent development or
No,
like never?
it's been a while. It's been a long
What's a while
time.
like?
Probably over 10 years now at least. And even prior, it was very rocky. It was like maybe, like maybe, but
What
it wasn't like ever for certain.
damn.
Yeah.
What made? Or I guess I shouldn't say damn. It's kind of.
You can say damn. You can say that. It's not the worst word we said on this podcast so far.
But I should say damn. Is it like that's a terrible thought process? But I guess what made you have that? Or I should say, do you feel like that thought process came naturally? Like it just like you just one day were kind of like yeah, nah, or do you feel like you were pushed to the point of like fuck this?
I think I didn't. I think it was always leaning more towards the nah side,
Okay.
and eventually it just teetered off into that direction and like no longer coming back type of thing.
I see.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
people. So my parents are divorced, right?
I was just about to ask that actually.
Yeah, but me and my siblings have totally different viewpoints. Like all my siblings want to get married and they want to have kids. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to get married. And the reason why I bring up what you're talking about is whenever I hang with my friends, they're always like, "Oh, just wait till it happens to you." Like just wait till you find the one.
Wait
And
till
I'm
it happens to you.
hey, come on, man. Yeah, but usually, they're saying like, "Oh, just wait, just wait." And I'm like, I'm 36 now. I'm not saying like I'm old or anything like that, but it's definitely I haven't changed my mind on that in like over a decade. And I really don't see it happening, And I'm not saying that I'm not open-minded to allowing someone to change my mind, but it's not happening. It's
See?
really not happening. I don't see it happening.
Sounds like you're more instead of a nah. I don't see it happening, but if it does, it does.
It's not so much. It's more so like I always allow other viewpoints, like I'm not against, like I'm not settled in my ways for anything. Like if you can prove me wrong, then 100%. Why the heck not? I'm not here to be, stubborn, right? Like that. I'm open to being corrected if I'm wrong, right? But that's just where I don't see it happening. I just can't.
But if the person
imagine
came
it.
along,
But that's even that. That's what I'm saying. Like the person coming. Okay, so to give you some context into the last relationship that I had, the 4-year one, she wanted to get married, right? And then but since the very beginning, I told her I was like, hey, if that's what you want, I'm not the guy that you're looking for, And eventually yeah. And eventually she shifted off that answer. Like, oh, people would ask her like, oh, do you want to get married? And she was like, no, I don't. And I was like, I felt like she was just trying to adapt to my narrative in order to not have any kind of tension, right? But I felt like that was not fair to her because I felt like that was not what she really wanted. And yeah, that made things very difficult for us, because I think at the very end she was like, oh, I actually do want to get married and this is not going to happen here, right? But I did mention that along the way, it's not that I can't commit to people because all my relationships are very long, right? I'm like a serial monogamist, right? But I even told her, I was like, I'm willing to commit to you, but I just don't believe in the way the government is involved and all these other things, right? I believe in committal, right? Being committed to someone. That's not a problem to me. So we could even do it in a way where it's like we could celebrate our love. We could do it every single year. I don't care. I just don't care to call it a wedding. And I don't care to, do it at church and things. Like she wanted things like that.
I see.
And that's just not something that I believed in and just didn't, So in a way where you're talking about someone's changing my mind to be committed, my mindset's kind of already like that. I'm like okay with that completely. I just don't like the traditional way of handling
You don't really
things.
like the construct, yeah.
Yeah.
But interesting. So now I guess then if you didn't have a wedding and say you just went to the courthouse and got married, is your problem still governmental?
Yeah, of course, of course.
What if you were to do like a closed marriage?
What's a closed marriage?
So that's like a marriage. See. So there's two like types when you file for marriage, and one is like just a regular public record, right? You go in, you sign the paper, or you have your officiant send it in, and boom, anyone can search you up. You're married. And there's a closed one that doesn't even appear.
Oh,
so you could be married with a closed marriage. I don't know if they do it everywhere. I'm pretty sure they do it here though. And you could get a closed marriage, and essentially, like if people were searching up, they wouldn't find it. So technically,
I think that's kind of like my parents. Like they do it in Vietnam. It's not anything legally binding, but they go through like a ceremony. This is legal.
No, it's definitely still legally binding.
Okay.
It's just you could technically not have a ceremony because you don't really have to have a ceremony. You just go to
Yeah.
the courthouse and sign a paper. So you go to the courthouse, sign a paper, and just opt the extra few bucks to do it
Yeah.
like a
That one's
private
legal.
one.
But what about the closed marriage?
That's a closed marriage.
Oh, that's
It's just-
closed marriage when you go to City Hall and stuff.
It's well, no, you can do them both there. It's just the type of filing it is. So like one of them is public record, so you can go to City Hall or whatever, sign your paper, boom, public, and it's there.
Oh.
Or you can go to City Hall and sign and pay the extra few bucks, and it's like a private one that
Oh.
people can't search up.
So what's the difference?
I don't know all I didn't do all the super legal
Yeah.
like research into like the differences, but I know it like it's a little different because it creates a high level of privacy. Like people can't like search up to find that you're married.
Oh.
So like I think when it comes to now with taxes and stuff, I'm pretty sure the government can see that you have a closed marriage and you're married, so you have to file as married.
Yeah.
But then like for name changes, it's a little more of a hassle because it's not a public document that's searchable. Because when you're trying to prove your name and get a driver's license with a different name on it,
Yeah.
you're going to be relating to a document that's like sealed.
Wow.
So I mean, maybe that's an option.
That's interesting. I gotta read a little bit more into that. I'm not convinced yet. But that's interesting though, because
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, why would people want to do that if it's like,
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. I think it's just like from a, like privacy, probably famous people or some. There has to be
Yeah,
some
yeah.
cons with it. I mean, the pro. I think the only pro really is like the level of privacy, because then you're not like people can't search you up and like find all the shit out about you.
okay. I mean, I'll do some research on it and see
Yeah.
what's up. I mean, I'm just curious. I'm just using it as a topic. Don't think I'm not even considering it. I'm just kidding. I'm assuming you guys are not doing a closed marriage. You guys are doing a traditional one.
No, yeah, I actually didn't even really know about it till more recently because like looking up stuff for filing and how that stuff works, because you have to like, I didn't really know that there's all these filings that go along with it. I thought you just like go and get married and they say I do and you're boom, you're married. No, there's like a bunch of other. And as a lawyer, you would think I would know, but I don't do that type of law. So
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, I didn't know. So I was like looking into it and I saw that and I was like, what the hell is this? And I did like a little brief reading on it. I was like, this is interesting. And then, yeah, we talked about it. We are like, yeah, I don't really see why we would do that. So we're just doing the regular one.
Have you guys discussed the P word?
I knew you were going to ask me that, I knew you were going to ask me. I thought you were going to ask me a little earlier. Yeah, we have. Like as a lawyer, what do you think my stance is on it? I'm just wondering what you would think my stance.
I think that you would be okay with not having one.
Damn, you're good.
That's all I
You
would
said with
think.
a lot of people. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no. I mean, I get it from a business perspective and from a legal, like being a lawyer, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I understand why people do it, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, and I'm like, if I had like 30 mil in the bank, maybe I would be a little more like, yeah, I could see. When you have like, you're in the millions and millions of dollars and like hella properties and stuff that you accrued, but the thing is like, there's like community property and separate property, so all this money and stuff you made prior to the marriage can like get like kind of kicked out, and there's a bunch of intricacies there.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess during the marriage if you make a bunch of money, but to me I'm like, the reason I'm kind of more okay with it too is like, say I start a business, say 3 years from now we have a kid, all right? And Tia stays home and she's watching our son or daughter, and I start a business and my business makes $30 million, and then this will never happen, but say we had to get a divorce. I think she should get some of the fucking money. Like, I can't do that business if she's not doing what she's doing, staying at home watching the kid. Like, that's so with a prenup, you can like kick shit like that out. And I'm like, it just seems a little fucked up sometimes. Now, in some situations, like I said, when you have a bunch of assets and there's a bunch of shit going on, I can see how it works. But for me, I'm just like, if I make, $20 million during our relationship, I feel like a large part of that is because of the support that my wife gave me. So for me, I'm just like, not really a thing. So yeah, we're not going to get one.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Interesting, yeah.
Was that her stance too?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know her, but that was my guess too.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like you guys went so quickly with everything that there's no way that you guys aren't all in. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
you know?
You're head on the nail, or hit the
Nail
nail
on
on
the
the
head,
head. God, but it kind of it's all in, and it kind of just feels like, I guess a part of a prenup also kind of feels like you're kind of like one foot in the door a little bit, even though it shouldn't be looked at that way because it's just like legal and estate kind of planning, but it always gives the impression of like, just in case this doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's got like a really bad connotation, because people kind of often refer to it as like you're banking on or betting on that it's not going to last, or preparing for when it ends. And that's like literally the opposite of marriage, because when you're married and you're, planning for it to go forever, and a prenup is planning on like, I want it to go forever, but if it ends.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It just sets the tone for the rest of the relationship. Sounds like, right?
A little bit.
Is there anything, because now that you guys have known each other for almost a year, is there anything that you could learn about her that could be a red flag that would change completely everything? Because we've been talking. I get a feeling that you've gotten a lot out of her, but there's definitely, there's only so much time that you guys could have together for this, this year, right? That you guys been together. There's got to be things that you guys don't know that maybe, hasn't really come to surface as, or something that you guys haven't had a chance to discuss.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed a lot of stuff though, so it's hard to think of like, is there something? So I guess it'd honestly be more so like, do I have any red flags that I don't know about her yet? That if I found out, I'd be like, oh shit. Honestly, no, not really. I mean, a lot of our stances on things were like pretty much the same. Like a lot of people's red flags is like if someone says they don't want kids, then if a girl really wants kids, that's her red flag. Because then for her, it's like, well, this can't work because you don't want kids. Or if the guy is like, I want kids, the girl's like, no, it doesn't. That can be a thing. For me, I was always like, I'm okay either way. Yeah, I'd like to have kids, but if I don't have kids, it's all right. It's not a big deal. And like it kind of pairs with. I was like, if I get married, I do, but I don't. If I don't, I can see that happening too. So I wasn't like, it's like I wasn't like I'm definitely getting married. It was like I hope it happens, but if it doesn't, the same with kids. Like it'd be cool, and that's kind of her standpoint too. So it's like I mean, I'm trying to think of anything that'd be like a red flag that I'm like, oh, I really don't like that. If she said she didn't like my music, then it's like
that would be game over.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I guess I'm really simple or some, simpleton, huh?
No, I mean, I'm just trying to see it from your standpoint. Like, how do you go head first so quickly into something like that? I feel like it would either have to be you're ignoring a lot of things, or you've discussed everything that's important up front.
Yeah, I think it'd be, that, because, pretty quick into it, we were just like really transparent about like who we are and what we want out of life, and like where we saw things going with things with with our relationship and with life in general. So like by doing that, it got a lot of those like red flag things out, because right then and there, if you have something that like is a must for you or a do not for you, and you find out, either you say I'll let that go or you don't. Luckily, in our situation, there was, at least for me, and I don't know her perspective, right? But I don't think so, because she would have told me, I believe. Yeah. But for me, there wasn't anywhere I'm like, oh shit, like I didn't really feel like I had to compromise on any of my like things that I don't really like. But that's also because I don't really I'm like really chill when it comes to like a lot of stuff, and I don't really have any like dead sets, has to happen, doesn't have to happen. Like, yeah, I mean. Yeah, I don't really have a lot. Like, if the person's like an asshole, but you're gonna figure that out. They're not gonna tell you.
True. I mean, some people do though. I feel like.
I guess that's true. Some people be like, yeah, I'm an asshole, and then either you're like, I'm cool with it, or.
That's true. I mean, I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, I'm an asshole, but but I do it because like I like to give the worst impression on myself first.
People who say they're assholes aren't really assholes.
Oh, okay.
Assholes are people who are assholes and don't tell anyone.
Fair. You're an asshole for not letting me know first, right?
Exactly.
Fair. Okay, cool. So, anything specific about music that you want to talk about?
Just for me, I guess with music, I thought it's kind of weird, because I think a lot of people struggle to find their outlet, right? Because everyone needs something to do aside from like living life. You can't just live life with nothing to do that you enjoy. That'd be fucking terrible, to be honest. Yeah. But from my young age, like I said, I was like didn't really have any outlets. I wasn't like this cool kid with all these friends. So for me, it was like messing around with music and just like dicking around and putting the Beats headphones on and just figuring it out and making trashy, terrible music then, and then progressing to now. But definitely for me was a huge outlet, because especially that period of my time in my life when I was like bullied and no one to talk to, really is what it felt like. It's like, weirdly enough, making songs felt like I was talking to someone, even though I wasn't really putting anything out there.
Yeah. No, it's actually a fact. Like when you're expressing yourself through something like music or art or anything like that, it does trigger part of your brain that's like you're having a conversation with someone
I
else.
didn't know that. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So that's why people who have no way to express themselves usually go towards like an art form.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I mean, it's not related to you by any means, but like that's why it's like certain people with autism, they're again.
That's what you said. They relate to
Yeah, I'm
that.
scared to give you a heads up. I didn't
Yeah.
mean like that at all. But yeah, they have a very strong, like they're very compelled to like create art in one way or another, and usually extremely talented.
Yeah.
At whatever they do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Strange.
yeah, I've seen some pretty. It's like super
Yeah.
good. It's interesting. I didn't know that.
Exactly. So I mean, that's why to even the way you explained yourself, like I have a friend who is like a rapper and he has like a stage presence that's not how he is normally, because that's how he exudes confidence, because he doesn't know how to do it in his everyday like regular life, you know. And I understand that too. Like I have like a version of myself that's a little bit more confident than I let off to be normally, you know. But it comes where it's like when I don't know how to express it any other way, right? In my craft, usually in the things that I do. So even in podcasting, like I'm usually not like this typically, even though some people say I would be, but yeah, I don't think so. No, I'm okay. I've like learned how to like turn it on and off like very easily. But I know when it's like on and off.
Seems pretty natural.
Oh, thank you. You know, I tried like almost 2 years into this, so you gotta get decent, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad like you found the outlet, and I think that's something that everyone needs. And you know, like some people don't have people, like so that's why people use art, or some people don't have anyone that they feel like they understand or understands them.
Okay.
You know, I think that's really big, because in certain ways, like we all have a like a way that we prefer to communicate. You know, it has nothing to do with, because I feel like in your case you have your significant other, right? You create this music for yourself. That's your form of expression, and that's why it means so much to you to have someone who's like by your side who appreciates that, because it's almost like they understand you in a way without you having to speak to them like directly, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's great. That's great that you found that. That's great that you found your form of expression so young too.
Yeah. It's honestly kind of lucky. I don't know. It just kind of happened. It's weird. Yeah, it's probably pretty lucky, because it's like I don't know if I didn't do that, I think I'd probably have lived a like very different life.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, actually, a lot of the things that you were saying about your childhood, like I experienced a lot of very similar things. You know, I was bullied like very, very early on. You know, being Asian, like the minority in the school. You know,
it's fucking tough, dude.
Yeah, it's rough. It leaves like a lasting impression on you for a very, very long time, which people don't understand.
It really does. Because I've said it before, like, you know, to friends and family and stuff, and it's weird because I'll sit and I'll be like, damn, you know, I'm surprised I'm not like more like, I hate to say it this way, but like messed up, like because like it really messes with you, and it takes a lot to like not let it like fuck with your like everyday life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And it's probably, you know, I think it's probably was music, because I was like always doing music. And there's a way to, yeah, like you said, to feel like you're talking to people, or at least feeling heard. Damn, I never thought about that. Wow, man.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is not feel like you have a voice, you know. And that's the thing. It's a lot of people live in their own heads, and you know it needs to come out one way or another. It really does.
Yeah, exactly. It figures it's like the monster that finds its way out.
Hey guys, welcome to Lightning Round, where we ask our guests rapid fire questions, and if he doesn't answer in time, he has a drink. Austin, are you ready?
All right, shoot, man.
What is your biggest fear?
Spiders.
Shit. What is your most proud moment with magic?
With magic? Oh man, this one time I was showing this like an older lady. I was doing a 3-card Monty. It's 3 cards, they're different, but you have to do some sleight of hand. And she was like, "Those are the same card," and I was like, "They're not."
Okay.
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
Nice. Is it true that magicians can't share their secrets?
It's fucking true.
Damn, really? Have you been to Magic Castle?
I haven't. I want to go so bad. I found out that if you like rent a room at the hotel next to it, you can like go there.
I didn't know that.
Loophole, man.
What is one thing that served you as a kid that no longer serves you?
Served me as a kid, but no longer. Fuck. I was stalling.
Okay. That's all you're repeating?
You might have to elaborate on that. That one got me a little bit.
Yeah. So it's like something that you did that really made you fulfilled or happy and no longer does that anymore.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, not like a slave or a butler or a servant.
Holy fuck. Oh, nah. So, fuck. I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of things I did as a kid. I still do. Like I did magic when I was a kid. I used to make music. I used to like cook. Like I love cooking, and so I still cook. Except when I was a kid, I used to do this fucking weird shit where I lived in a really hot town, so I'd fucking get a banana leaf off of the tree and like crack an egg on it and like sit on the roof of my apartment complex to try to cook it in the sun.
What the hell? That's kind of dope, actually.
Yeah. Oh, actually, one thing that really fulfilled me as a kid, but that doesn't do anymore because I just don't do it, is like science. So when I was a kid, I built like a solar oven. I used to build all these scientific shits. But now it's like kind of like it's cool, but it doesn't really do much for me now. It's more on the artistic, make music, do work and stuff like that.
Yeah, makes sense. But that's pretty dope, though. I used to love stuff like that as a kid.
Right? Yeah.
When you were eating just broccoli and chicken, what was the one meal that you missed the most?
Oh, fuck pizza.
Pizza?
Oh yeah, pepperoni pizza, Domino's.
Yeah, just straight up.
Straight up. I worked at Domino's when I was in college, so I would get it like for free. It's probably why I was really big in college. But like, yeah, when I was going through that process, like pizza, oh man, dude.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially you work there. Holy crap. Yeah, I used to work at this Cajun restaurant, and I would just be eating their food all the time.
Working at a restaurant's fun, but it fucking sucks.
It does. I think working at a restaurant where you have to walk around, though, like as a waiter, is better because you're actually on your feet more, you know? Versus where you're more stationary and like
I was just like making the pizzas.
Yeah, no, I feel you. What is your favorite thing about Tia?
My favorite thing about Tia? Oh, it's her sense of humor. Yeah, she's funny as hell. We have the same sense of humor, and she's like introduced me to some comedians and stuff. And I'm like a real big goofball, so it's cool that we could just laugh and just joke about stupid shit together. So it's definitely. I mean, she's gorgeous as well, but like on a sub level, it's like her sense of humor is pretty damn awesome.
Okay, nice. What is the biggest insecurity that you've ever shown her?
The biggest insecurity I've ever shown her? Damn it, man. Honestly, yeah, this is gonna get deep for a second. This is get deep.
It has to get deep dish, baby.
When we first met, we actually played like this like get to know like your boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, those card games, we like flip the card and it has like a question. Yeah. And one of the questions was like something like my biggest regret or something like that. So this is not an insecurity per se, but it's something that like bugged me and still kind of bugs me. But growing up, I was really close to my grandmother, and she passed away in my first year of college, and I ended up dropping out, which is crazy to be a lawyer now. But I ended up dropping out of college and going to working at Walmart for a year before I decided I wanted to go back to school. And when she passed away, I was so torn up that I didn't go to her funeral because I don't want to see it. And I didn't want to believe that it actually happened. So like it's not an insecurity, but it is something that bothers me, that I do regret that I didn't go, because it felt like I let her down in a moment, like, you know, that last time I could have seen her, and it actually made me cry. So she actually saw me cry like early on, which is like weird because I don't really cry a ton. I don't like to cry. I don't know why. But so I don't know if it's really insecurity, but like
vulnerable.
Yeah, like really big vulnerable moment. Yeah,
that's tough. I mean, I've been hearing that a lot more. You know, because you get older, more people pass. You know, especially the ones older than you. And I do hear a lot more about friends not being able to make it out to those occasions just because it's so hard for them to.
It's really hard, and like it's like, I hate to say it, it's gruesome, but like people don't look the same when they pass away. Like it's very different. If you've never been to a funeral, I don't wish it on anybody, because it's like it's a real fucking like mind awakening moment, because you see someone and you're like, it's almost weird because. And that's kind of why I didn't want to go, because it really almost sometimes feels like it alters your perception, because I didn't want my last memory to be that moment, because I'm like, I know that's not what it was.
I can see why you were torn, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So for my last question, this could be a little bit more long-winded, but you said that you went from a 2.5 GPA to top 10 in your class,
Yeah.
and you also give advice to your brother to get his shit together. What is the piece of advice you give to the audience to help them get their shit together?
My biggest piece of advice is probably don't sweat the small things, but sweat the small things. It's a good one, right?
Yeah,
I
that is
just
good.
came up with that. I fucking
That's
hope
the
that's not
rapper in you,
taken.
bro.
Is that shit taken? I hope it's not.
We gotta look it up.
Fuck, we do. Yeah, don't sweat the small things, but sweat the small things, right? Because you can't sweat the small things to the extent that it's gonna fuck up the things that you plan for yourself, the things that you're gonna do, right? So if you have these grand plans, these things you want to be, these people you want to meet, things you want to do, if you're too worried about those small things, it's gonna hinder you and not get you there. The reason I say you have to sweat the small things is because, like I said earlier, life is really just a bunch of small decisions that you're making these decisions and you don't know where they're going to lead you, but you're kind of hoping that you're making the right decision to get you where you want to go. So don't sweat the small things to the extent that it takes you off your fucking path because you're worried about the past and worried about all these little things and so worried that you can't make a decision. But worry about them because you do need to think about the decisions you're making, because small wrong decisions can like very easily alter your life, like with my brother, being young and doing stupid stuff, or going out with certain friends. I'm like, one little decision you don't even know, oh, I want to go hang out, that decision can change your life, and it's done it to many people. It's like shit goes wrong and you never even thought about it, and all it took was for you to sit back for a second to go, you know what, I don't really need to do that. Doing that's not going to get me where I need to go in life. So I say sweat the small things a little bit, but don't sweat them.
Yeah, it's like trusting the process almost.
Exactly,
Like,
right?
you gotta make sure that you get what you need done, right? Like, don't just like forget about it, but like don't like dwell on it too much after you get done. All right, I just want to say thanks to our very cool, very transparent guest, Austin. Let the audience know where they can find you.
It's a pleasure talking to y'all. You can find me. My pseudonym is Survive at the Kid Survive on Instagram, and you can also check out my new EP, It's a Vibe, out everywhere.
And I just want to say thank you to the audience for watching all the way through. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment below what you guys want us to talk about next time. And remember, live fast, eat ass.